Hey guys, my name is Ryan, and we're back again with another Spirit Island video. Today, we just got the latest update to the Handelabra app, and we added a new spirit, Lure of the Deep Wilderness. This spirit is very interesting and unique because it cannot add presence to the coastal lands. It must play inland or in the deep wilderness. Hey. What makes this particularly challenging is if you take a look, we have 6 and 8 powers, and 5 of them are range 0. The only way with our innate kit that we can deal with a coastal land is Forsake Society to Chase After Dreams. Beautiful name. And this lets us get rid of a single building. Not a ton of power. We really do need to draft into solutions for the coast, or else we're just living off of a hope and a prayer. So that is the inherent challenge with this guy, and we're going to be checking it out against France. So let's go. Alright, starting off in the sands. I'm very happy it was a coastal land that came up first. Had it been jungles, there is the marginal missed opportunity because on the initial France Explore, they only do 1 Explorer instead of 2. And so it just makes it that much tiny bit easier. That was exactly the coastal sands. Anyways, how do we open with this guy? There's a lot of different ways to do it. I think my favorite way is to play Softly Beckon and to underplay. And so I personally like to take the Moon with the extra energy and then go across bottom track playing Softly Beckon. This lets us solve this coastal problem, gets rid of the town from here as well, pairs up our Dahan, and it also gives us the ability to pop a town somewhere on the board with our left innate. There's, if we wanted to get the fear, we'd just target here in land number 4, probably because we're going to bring in these 2 towns and we can get the fear. But if we don't care about the fear, then we could target something else. And we get the jungles. Okay. So we'll Softly Beckon. Bringing in everything out of these sands, so that way there's no complications. Leave everything nicely paired up. And yeah, here's a situation, right, where we could reasonably not take the fear and just focus on making our life a little bit easier here in the 7. And so it comes down to what is our game plan for dealing with land number 7, and what's our game plan for dealing with land number 6. So with these cards, the 2-turn combo that we want to be thinking about is Perils of the Deepest Island in combination with Swallowed of the Deep Wilderness. Since this is a damage dealing card, but it doesn't do anything by itself or requires setup. And these 2 cards add tokens to the board. So Perils adds the Badlands and the Beast. If we put them both in the same lands, that'll become 3 swallow damage. And we can get a 4th damage with this Gift of the Untamed Land. So we could use this pair to fully solve the 6. In fact, Gift's not even required, right? Just Perils plus this Beast that's already existing is 4 damage, kills the 2 towns. Gift will probably drop it here in the empty 5. And that means that if we play both of these cards, that'll give us our left innate, able to pop a town. So if we pop a town now and next turn, then the 7 will be fully solved without requiring any drafts. And so that is why I'm going to choose to take it all right now. Also with this Gift of the Untamed Wild, if Wetlands comes up, we can turn this into a disease, so that way all of these explorers don't just blow up in our face. Okay. As Lure, I personally prefer the bottom track rush approach. Just push bottom track as aggressively as possible. And so Gift of Power really makes that easy because you don't need to underplay as bad because it replaces itself. Now, every single card here is actually quite viable. Adding Mountains and Wetlands, getting Coastal Wild is great for us being able to solve our fundamental weakness with the spirit. Roiling Bog, we could defend the 7, and that 1 Dahan that is still participating will kill off that town, so we still don't get that kind of pressure. Drift down into Slumber accomplishes that same goal. Yeah, so all of these, I think, are viable choices. It's just a matter of which one do we feel like is best. Planning on dealing with this one via a Slaves Rebellion. If this is a Mountains, then it'll move into the Ravage slot, and then the town will die to the Slaves Rebellion. If it comes up as a Wetlands, then yeah, it's just good, as is. And so to that end, Treacherous Waterways gains value, right? Because if we do get the Wetlands and we drop the Wilds here, then it'll full clear because of the Slaves Rebellion, and then we just don't have to do anything for a while. It'll be solved. Well, I guess there's 2 cards, the Coastal and the Mountains cards, but it'll get us halfway through Stage 2. I think I'm going to just take this Gift of Power. It's perfectly fine, perfectly reliable, nothing amazing, but it accomplishes what we need it to do. That disease is immaculate. We are incredibly happy to get that. Ooh, gain an energy and reclaim a card? That is super nice. Now, I can almost... Like, that in combination with the Gift of Power are pretty much guaranteed to make it all the way to the 5 and reclaim 1 before we have to do a proper reclaim. Okay, yep, so we can add our Badlands and Beast right here, so that way we can kill off the towns with the Swallowed. We could... I'm also thinking maybe I take the town out of G1 so it'll build and then die to the Slaves Rebellion, and that's how we're going to go about solving it. And then draft into a solution for the 7. I think that's more reliable than taking a triangle trade. And yeah, we'll take you in. And then we can kill off some explorers and gain some fear. And we could add a Wilds. Adding Wilds is kind of an awkward thing for us because we, especially against France, where it does solve the whole chain of events, we like things at range 0. We need things at range 0, and this denies that from happening. So I guess the 7 is the land where we're going to be the weakest, especially if we take the Blight. So this is insulation in case things go sideways. But yeah, that is the tricky thing with this Gift of the Untamed Wilds in solo. We don't necessarily want a Wilds at range 0. We don't necessarily want to sacrifice our presence, but it's a 0 cost with perfect elements, so it's kind of the card we just keep on just tossing in there, just because it works and it gets the job done. Ooh, Shore Seas, getting that Coastal Wilds is nice. One thing I'm thinking about, though, is that as we push across bottom track, we're only gaining 1 energy a turn if we keep on gaining new cards. And especially if we want to play the Softly Beckon again, like I think these 3 cards is a great set of cards to play this turn. We are going to go down to 0 energy, and so 0 cost cards just become that much better. Seer Anger is a great card, though, right? Because it deals damage because of Wilds, and we now have a use for this awkward Wilds. So yeah, looks like we're just going to have to ride the lightning over here in the 7. That's perfectly fine. We do this as a decent slate of cards. With any luck, that Fear card can provide some relief. Ooh. Okay. Always keeping everything inland whenever possible. That's unfortunate. Kills off our Dahan. 1 damage each, but they first strike. That gets the job done. Free Strife. Whenever we get this free stuff, I always like to invest it into the coast because that's where we're weakest. And these free tokens can help compensate for our weakness. Okay, we got a Slaves Rebellion land here. Great. Swallowed by the Wilderness will get the job done over here. So before we use all of our other powers, I like to gain as much information as I possibly can, see what our range of options are. Let's see. Voracious Growth will solve the 7. If we gather everything with this Softly Beckon out of the 8, we are going to have a city still. And we could play like an Encompassing Ward to defend it. But I'm not allergic to taking a Blight either. Twilight Fog, this is 1 turn too late. Really, the only reason I would take Twilight Fog is to give us a better Slaves Rebellion, but that ship has sailed. I think it's Voracious Growth as the pick. Blight Removal is just much worse against France. So yeah, it's Voracious Growth. Okay. So yeah, we'll tug at this because we get the fear. And if we use our ability to destroy explorers, then we have enough here to get the extra fear. So we're going to gather in this way. I think we might even softly beckon this way as well. Taking 1, 2. I think we have enough damage to go here. We don't need the Beast, although it'll help us with the Swallowed, because right now we're hitting for 4. That'll get us up to 5. Yeah. And Dahan, we need to keep this for our Slaves Rebellion, so that's fine. Destroying 5. Leaving 1 behind, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. I guess, actually, the benefit to killing all of them is that then we can France 6 into this land. So, after taking the France 6, it's the same amount of explorers in the land left over, except we just absorbed a free France 6. Okay. So, I'll play any zero-cost card that I draft. Funny games. Humor. Okay, so Quicken will defend our 8, prevents a Blight from coming down. Renewing Rain removes Blight, and that is worse against France. This is a lot more than... Sorry, a lot more than 1 energy to make that effective. Just be the big old token guy with Dire Metamorphosis. I think I'm fine taking a Blight here. Still playing the Voracious Growth to get ahead, because our plan is to Swallowed in the 6. And I wonder if Dire Metamorphosis is the play there. I'm inclined to say no. But I could also Quicken, and then just do a full reclaim on 4 card plays, and then Quicken again to defend up here. Or to defend over here in the 6, but I'd rather kill things because we're getting to a low town count. Yeah, this Badlands is going to go here, and that'll get us up to 7 damage, killing off a city and 2 towns. That'll leave 1 town behind. I think it's Quicken. And in fact, if I just go for the energy, I really do like to get greedy and aggressive here, but it didn't work out that way. I think that's fine. We could just take the energy, and then We'll just have a little bit less power next turn, but a lot more power this turn. And it still allows us to proactively solve the 7. I think that's fine. It accomplishes the goals that we need. Okay, a build creates an explorer and an adjacent land without invaders, so we'll just make sure we build in the 7 first, and then there's no qualifying lands. Ooh, pushing that beast. So now, because we're going to be killing a city and 2 towns, we now get to full clear this land with our Swallowed, and that's no longer an issue. Let's see, let's pair up some Dahan, and let's just gather that in. Also, because disease very often kills Dahan, like happened already, it insulates us from that. Oh, why did that not build? Was there a modifier to that? From the event deck? That's odd. Oh, skipped a low number build. Sure. Yep. Okay. Go here. Now that we have this Quicken, I'm very inclined to draft any kind of a range boosting power. That would just nicely solve the 1. And since we don't need the Badlands here, I'm looking to spread the love and put it somewhere else where it'll be necessary. I can foresee us using it in this 8. Okay, so we reclaim. Want to make sure that we hit our necessary elements. Off of 3 card plays, we're looking at being able to pop a town, unless if we gain a moon right now. But I think drafting into a solution for the 1 is the most important thing. And so I'm going to gain a power card. Like Calls to Like is like a poor man's version of Softly Beckon Ever Inward. It gets the job done. It's not super exciting, but it's another way to remotely deal with the coast. So I do fancy this card. We could take Gift of Nature's Connection and still get the ability to pop a city, but I think that dramatically overvalues our innate. I think we're going to take Like Calls to Like. Let's say that we get the Sands here. Well, there's going to be, we could escalate here in the 3, and then gather the Explorer and Town out into this 4. And many other variations thereof. So we know that we need to play the Swallowed. I always like to play Softly Beckon as much as we possibly can. And then, let's see, Gift of the Untamed Wilds doesn't seem too crazy to me. I think we'll just sneak in that Gift of Power whenever we have the chance. Because, like I said, I really want to get a range buff so we can quicken in the 1. Immediately ravage in the land with the most invaders. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, we can act cautiously. And we can push some Dahan. Let's see, we know that, like, if we don't draft into our solution here, we're going to be quickening here in the 8. So we could set up for that. Okay, we got a Ravage skip. It's irrelevant. Let that die. And we'll add an adjacent town here. Since we know that this jungles is just not going to be a problem again until at least for another 3 turns, I can very safely add this town here. Actually, if we get Sands, we just lose on this. No, we take a Blight and Cascade. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. We are forced to take this blight here, or else we would die to town count. But we are not going to be doing anything in this jungles for a while, so we can go that direction. Okay, and we will softly beckon getting these guys out. Yeah, and we're just not hitting those range buffs. I think there's only one or two in the whole game, so it's not like we can reasonably expect to get them. The turn too late for that slow disease. But I don't hate it still. This one provides us access to a lot more fear. We'd use it for 3 fear right here. And also because our jungles are good, so... let's see. Clean up the coast whenever we get the chance. And clean all you guys up. Okay. So definitely Light Calls to Like is coming down this turn to clean up the 3. We're playing Light Calls to Like, Quicken. And that's our 1-cost cards. That could just put us at Seer, Anger, and Gift, which is a nice little combo because we can add a Wilds and then immediately convert that Wilds into damage. So that's something. I'm also considering playing this Dark Entangled Woods just to give us an opportunity here. It would let 2 Dahan survive and get some amount of a counterattack. If we let a counterattack kill the town, kill the 2 towns here, that will put us at enough towns in the pool so we get a build and an escalation safely. So I do like that. Dark Entangled Woods, Quicken, and then both our zeros. Let's get an extra city. Super cool. Hate to see that. And it's necessary to put it here as well, so that way we don't just kill off all our Dahan in the 1. And we do... Ooh, this is fantastic for us. The Sacred Site back here does nothing for us. We want our Sacred Sites to be adjacent to the coast. Of course, once we have the 6 and the 4, we've accomplished that goal. But having one back here really doesn't do anything. And removing this town will save us a blight. Thank you kindly. This ignore doesn't matter. And 5 damage. Where you would get more fear by killing off the city in the town, I do think it is better in this situation just to clear the towns. We can deal with the city later, but our primary loss condition is town count. And so... even though we denied 2 towns from building here, I still think it's worth it just to insulate ourselves from any disaster. Because the coastal card is always a disaster. Okay. So certainly we're going to be getting rid of this town, gathering it all in. And if we add another token here, we will be able to clear all these towns, and then we'll be adding the Badlands, so the Wild's damage can then also kill a town. So we can piece all these little things together and turn it into something half decent. So for sequencing, we need to add a Wilds first. And then we go here, destroying all of those explorers. And then we go here with the damage. Okay. With any luck, if we can find a way to deny that from blighting, that would be super nice. More range 0 defense. Not quite what I was looking for. Bat Scout is an interesting card. It will give us the damage here in G1 to help stay ahead of that land. Yeah, because we already have a range 0 defense, we really don't need this domesticated animals. Unquenchable Flames is what I'm looking at currently. We use Unquenchable Flames and Voracious Growth to really start hammering down on this G2 land. Because it would give us 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, which would be sufficient to kill a city and an explorer. Which would solve that. Because we do already have our range 1 defense for this to help chip down on the 1. So I think Unquenchable Flames is going to be the take here. So we are here and here. And then all we have money for is a 0 cost. And I'm going to want a Moon Air 0 cost in order for us, because this is going to be hitting for 5, so we pop a town, and then we're good. So a Moon Air 0 cost is going to be Gift. The plants are nice too. Ooh, the Diaspora. Okay, get a whole bunch of fear. Hopefully that fear card can turn around our luck. Skip the next Explore. I think this card is fantastic. Gives you time to set everything up. I'm going to remove this Explore here to deny a town from existing. Of course, it's France, so remove actually means push. And that full solves this problem. Okay, good. Yeah, we got one major problem, and then otherwise we are chilling. So we'll come down here, get the damage. Get some more damage. Pop this town. Yeah, and we'll just throw wilds down wherever. I don't think it really makes a difference. Okay. So if we were to grow this turn, that would get us the extra moon, which I don't think is going to make the difference at all. So I'm going to take the opportunity to reclaim. It gives us the extra energy. And we're going to be at 3 energy. That's not quite major territory yet. So I guess there is exactly one card in the game. I'm not even sure if we have the elements to threshold it. That 2 cost that we could then use this for damage and then push. If we get the threshold, that would be the plant, earth, sun. We actually would have the elements. I think going for one single major in the entire deck versus several hits in the minor deck, it makes sense to go for the minor powers. Like Sap. Sap gets the job done. Okay. And now we can do the winning thing, where we focus on winning the game as opposed to not losing. This might be the Slaves Rebellion turn. So we could just destroy here, strife, strife, kill, kill. That's all good and fine. So we don't need to do any special setup for that. In case I'm wrong, well, I guess actually it shouldn't make a difference either way. We play all slow powers here and just set ourselves up. Really hoping that we can hit the repeat to pop 2 cities now that we're at terror level 3. You know, hit city, If we got the Slaves Rebellion, then we just win. And if we didn't get the Slaves Rebellion, then we just win next turn. So that is my goal with this Elemental Suite. So I gotta get 2 more airs and 1 moon with only 1 energy. We don't have a 0 cost with air. That means we can't play the Softly Beckon, because we gotta play 3 1-cost cards. Man, we just don't have enough air, actually, just straight up. That's super unfortunate. Okay, well, I guess that whole line's not going to work. If this is this... Well, this should be... Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means this is Slaves Rebellion's turn. That will clear. So we only actually need to... Well, no, there's still the 2 cities. We could drop a bunch of tokens here and then fast kill this, and then we can hit that with our innate. That'll get us there. So we will play the Perils, and then it looks like any moon card will get the job done. And so, yeah, we'll do this. In fact, actually, with our left innate, that can do 3 damage at range 0. That's another way that we can win this turn. Okay, cool. Yep, alright, Slaves Rebellion. So destroy a town. And then, oh, I guess with all that, we didn't need to play the sap. That's okay. We are more than fine. Huh. Oh, it takes a damage for every strife that it has. And it already had a strife. Hold on, that took too much damage. 1 damage per strife that it has. There was 1 strife and then 1 that, so that's 2 damage. That should not have died. Am I crazy? Anyways, Sacred Sites. We have 2 of them with Invaders, so that's going to be 6 energy. So, yeah, we could guard them ourselves. And we can just discard, and then pay 1 energy. Hey, look, there's our Reaching Grasp that we were hoping for. Huh. Yeah, I feel like there was a bug there. I don't think that should have died. Well, we had the tools in order to deal with that city regardless, but I guess I'll have to watch the replay. Regardless, that was Lure against France. We have a lot of good Explorer control, so I do think it's a very strong matchup for us. We just need to be very careful and be willing to sacrifice our presence to create disease if necessary, because we can get a massive pile of invaders going, and that can be very unfortunate for us. Sorry, massive pile of explorers for us. And so if we're not careful, and if we're not getting too greedy, then we can, have the game run away from us. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, no, that bug just kind of got me a little bit. Tell me if I misunderstood what happened there, but regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a glorious day.